In this video, I'm going to cover how you can create a new page on your podcast page website. We are going to recreate this page here. This is an about page that has 4 key sections. First it has this intro section, then a testimonial, then recent episodes, and finally reviews. So the first thing you'll want to do is navigate to the back end of your site. Here you'll click on pages, and once you do that, it will look something like this, where you can click here to create a new page, or if you've already started a page, you can come in and click edit to go into the edit experience of a page you already started. In this case, I'm going to click new page, and we are going to start a brand new about page. So I'll type in the page title and then the URL, and I'll leave this section for now as is. Now let's begin designing the page. The first thing I'll do is I'll delete this header block here, and then we are going to start to create our first section. Up here we have text on the left with a button and an image on the right. So I'll click on the plus sign here. Here you'll see blocks and templates. Now a few things to consider as you get started. First, you'll always want to start a new section with one of these 4 blocks. So in this case, we need a section which is already here on the page. As you can see, there's a section here. It starts out like that as a default. But once we start building new sections like this, we'll need a new section on the page. So in this case, we'll end up with 4 separate sections on our about page. And you could use any of these to start what you are going to build. In this case, I'm actually going to get rid of this section here, and then I'm going to add in a 2-section column here for the header. This is where we'll put the text and the button, and this is where we'll put the image. So in this case, we are going to drag in a header, and then we are going to drag in body text below that, and then we will need a button. So I will place all of those there. And then on this side, we'll need an image, so I'll drag that in here. And then it will prompt me on which image do I want. I'll select this image for now. And just like that, we've started the section and started to build it. So I'll fill in the content here. So as you can see here, I filled in the content. I placed the text in here and also the text here. Changed the button to say all episodes as well. And that now is going to our episodes page. But there are a few other things we want to do. We want to change this text here to be blue. And then we also want this to be center with the image. So let's do that now. First thing is this. I'm going to click on the section here. So that's what I'll select. And then I'm going to toggle on the advanced settings toggle, where it'll give me a few more options here. The only thing I'll want to do is change the align items to center. And so you'll see here, it just aligned the items perfectly, which is great. So I'll select this word here, and then I'll click on this paintbrush. From here, I can now change the typography style and specifically the color to the brand color that I want, just like that. So just like that, we were able to recreate this section, and you can always click here to hit expand to see the full page experience, and it already is looking great. Now, I want to show you some best practices when building out your page and some tips that you can use along the way. First, let's go back to the plus sign here. There are a lot of great widgets, and let's just talk a little bit about some of these key widgets for your podcast. Here you can see episodes. You can drag this into the page and you'll be able to populate all your episodes for your podcast with ease, and then customize the look and feel of it, how many show up on the page, and much more. Similarly, you could do the same thing with videos if you have videos populating on your site. Now, if you have a lot of different podcasts that you're showing, you could also use this feature here to show an overview of all the podcasts that you manage. From there, if you want to highlight podcast information, you could use this widget here. If you have video channels, you could use this widget, or the blog post. These will all automatically update with the latest content anytime you publish a new episode on your podcast. You also have an episode slider, participants, reviews, and a review carousel that you can use on your page. Now, there are also some really cool widgets as well that you could consider using on your website, like the audio player or the audio playlist. You could also show a list of recent episodes, or this voice message widget that allows listeners to leave a voice memo to you, which is really cool. You could also add in subscribe buttons, your social links, even your Instagram profile, as well as a search widget and share links, which is really useful for growing your podcast. Now that you have a better sense of a lot of the widgets that exist, there's also another great feature to consider, which is templates. Here you have different types of templates. Some of them are sections, and some of them are full-blown pages. In this case, these are content sections here with even these CTAs. Down here, you have page templates, and then here you have homepage style templates. So that if you drag one of these into a page, it is a full experience with all the different sections built out that you could easily customize. So make sure to take a look at these as you're getting started, because a lot of these sections may be pre-built for you already. For example, our About page is right here with all the sections that we want to include that we would have been able to start with to build out this whole page. For now, let's continue building the page that we started to build by building out the next section, which is a testimonial section, and we have that block right here. So I'm going to click and drag this in. You're going to want to look for the green line that goes across the entire page. So as you can see here, there's one here and then here. So in this case, I'll drop that in, and you'll see now that this falls on its own section. Next, we'll want to add in our recent episodes. And so in this case, we'll go back and we'll click on blocks, and we will start to build out this section. I will drag this down here. Now I have this new section, so I'll just start placing the items I want, which will be a header. And then below that, I would like to add some body text. Next, I'll drag in the episodes widget, which I'll drag in here and drop it in, and we'll customize that in a minute. And then finally, there's this call to action button down here that exists with this widget. So we already have that. So now let's design this section. All right, so I just dropped my text in here, and what I'll do now is I will select this heading, and then I will center it, and then I'll do the same thing here for the body text. Then from here, I'll click on the episodes widget, and then we have a lot of control. Currently, it's showing 9. I want to take that down to 3 episodes. And then the column count, I want to take it up to 3. So here you'll see we're already starting to see the look and feel that we like with the content, and it really looks nice. Here, I feel really good about this section. I think we have a bit of opacity change here, but I kind of like this use case where it's all white in the background, and you can make further edits to the content, the look and feel, all of that here in this section. So finally, I'll click on this section here, and I'll want to add in some spacing to the top and bottom. So I'm going to add in a margin of 80 at the top, and then a margin of 80 at the bottom. That way it has a bit of the same look here with some extra space at the top and at the bottom. Then we're going to go on to the next section, which will be reviews. In this case, this section is very similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in here and select this section again, and then hit duplicate. Just like that, this section was duplicated. Then I could come in here and adjust the text accordingly. And then from there, I'll remove this block, and then I will go to the plus sign. And here I will add in the reviews widget right here. And just like that, the widget has shown up. Again, it is showing 9. I'm just going to go down to 3. I'll have those reviews there, also with a load more button, which is really nice. If I want to remove that, I can easily scroll here and it says display load more button. I could just turn that off, and just like that, it will remove that button. For now, I'm going to add it back. And as you can see here, we have just designed this whole page. I'll actually add in a bit of spacing here to this section as well, like we just did a moment ago. So I'll add in 80 here and 80 here. Actually, I'm going to keep this at 0 because it looks like there's a little spacing up here. And there actually might be some spacing down here that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to click. You'll see it's selected on the body. Let me go back to the top. Selected on the body here. And so what we can do here is all at the top, set this to 80. So it stays like that. And then this I'll set to 0. So if I scroll down here, that section is now removed. There's no additional spacing here for the body section. Now I'll hit preview. I really like what we've built. I like how it looks, the overview of the page. It's really nice. Now I'm going to hit publish. And just like that, that page is live. You can preview it by clicking here in the middle of your page. And now you can see it. Final note here, as you're designing this page, you may say, hey, I'd like to edit my footer or my main navigation. Well, let me show you how to do that. You don't do it here in this experience. You'll go back to your main menu by clicking on the logo in the top left. Then from there, you'll click Customize. And here, you'll click on Header and Footer. In this case, you could adjust the main menu navigation, and down here, you could adjust the footer as well. As you can see here, we just designed this page, and it looks great. With the widgets and the templates that are pre-built on the back end, you can use it to easily build out your website, develop your pages, add it to the main navigation and the footer to design the page and your website just as you like.